prevent pedestrian deaths, how Ridgewood plans to pay to have new lights turned on along Highway 165, and why some are not happy with their solution.
And a $2.8 million expansion in Lincoln Parish. Why one official says improvements at the jail will mean the detention center will soon turn a profit.
Plus, no one covers your team like our team. Our Chris Demersion is live at Neville High School. He'll tell us about the battle with Bastrop and all the other games this week.
Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Jared Floyd.
And I'm Chelsea Jones. Michelle is back next week. Our top story at 5. It's an area where several people have died when people walking along the road have been hit by cars. We're talking about Highway 165 in Ridgewood. Ridgewood has secured funding to bring in street lights. However, they say they found a new problem. It'll cost approximately $25,000 a year to turn the lights on and maintain them. On the November 16th ballot, there will be a proposal for a flat rate that would require Ridgewood property owners to pay $25 a year for 9 years to cover the cost. Alderman Weisinger Cleveland says this is too expensive for those who are already on a fixed income or have multiple properties.
I feel good about the lights. You know, the lights are needed because, you know, all the casuals and deaths that didn't happen on the highway. And as soon as Ridgewood have to suffer the pain themselves, threatening to say, hey, I'm going to lose my land because I'm paying for some lights and extra money that I don't have.
Coming up at 6, hear from locals as they decide how they will vote on the November 16th ballot.
New at 5, too many inmates, not enough room. That's the situation at the Lincoln Parish Detention Center, but that's about to change. NBC 10's Isabel Albritton spoke to the warden on how he says the jail will become a moneymaker after their expansion is complete.
Lincoln Parish is currently dealing with an inmate overflow. It forces them to send inmates to other parish jails. The warden says sending inmates elsewhere due to lack of space takes a big dip into the jail's budget.
For the last few years, Ouachita Parish Corrections in Monroe has held the majority of our overflow inmates, and it's been costing us a lot of money, about $25,000 a month average.
That's why the facility is working on a $2.8 million expansion. The 96-bed addition would make room for Lincoln Parish inmates and allow jails to make money off other parishes.
That would actually generate close to $200,000 a year, which would make the majority of the payments on our new building.
The balance would be borrowed from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Although the construction costs are almost $900,000 more than the original estimated cost, Tootin says the jail surplus budget will cover it.
So we're going to use some of that money to pay the difference between the bid and what the estimated cost was going to be.
Only 2 more phases need to be approved before construction can begin.
We're waiting on final approval from the USDA authorizing the loan. Once we get that, the police jury will vote to authorize the acceptance of the low bid that we already have.
Construction could take about 8.5 months to finish if they have good weather. In Ruston, Isabel Albritton, NBC 10, your local news leader.
NBC 10 is your local election headquarters, and we want to remind you that early voting in Louisiana starts tomorrow. Early voting goes from Saturday, November 2nd to Saturday, November 9th. The hours are 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. The polls are closed on Sunday, November 3rd. In Ouachita Parish, there are 2 early voting polling places, including the Registrar of Voters on Desert Street in Monroe and the West Ouachita Senior Center on North 7th Street in West Monroe.
Happening now in Washington, President Trump today is calling the impeachment inquiry a scam after the House approved procedures for the public phase of the impeachment inquiry. As Jennifer Johnson reports, the president is looking to do a fireside chat about his call with Ukraine's leader.
President Trump on the attack as the impeachment inquiry forges ahead, offering no new evidence but ramping up his rhetoric, calling it the biggest, most disgusting scandal, all on the Democrat Party. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi promising Democrats won't impeach unless the case against the president is ironclad.
This is not about his personality, his policies. That's for the election. This is about the Constitution. This is about defending our democracy.
The president now saying to the Washington Examiner he'd like to do a fireside chat on live television to read what he calls a transcript of his call with Ukraine's president. But a White House official testified this week the summary of the call omits parts where the president talks about the Bidens. Republicans standing behind the president.
If you're going to impeach the president based on this phone call, you're wasting your time.
But the White House admits it's not hopeful.
We are prepared for an impeachment to happen.
A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows Americans sharply divided on whether to impeach and remove the president from office. 49% say yes, 47% no. The poll conducted before the House voted Thursday to take the investigation public.
The American people have a chance to hear from these witnesses directly. They'll certainly get a pretty good picture of the president's misconduct.
The president hoping Americans focus on the economy, as new economic numbers show the U.S. created 128,000 jobs in October. Numbers better than predicted, but still down from job growth a year ago. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
A landmark moment for Habitat for Humanity of Ouachita today as they broke ground on their 50th house in Monroe. The nonprofit group works to get families out of substandard housing and into a house they can spend a lifetime in as their family grows. The homeowner of this home is Shakia Simmons. After applying and being chosen, Simmons and any other applicant goes through financial training to make sure they understand how the payments work. In addition to taking care of the community, those involved in the program see a positive change in their families.
Well, I think a lot of the studies have shown that people who have been involved in the program, their kids do better in school, they're in better neighborhoods, and just a long-term solution that works out better for everyone.
The Simmons house will take somewhere between 5 and 7 months to build.
Well, it's Football Friday night throughout Northeast Louisiana and Southeast Arkansas.
And Chris Demersion is live at Neville with the latest. Chris, how you doing? What's going on out there?
Hey, Chelsea and Jared, not nearly as cold as it was yesterday, but it will get a little colder later this evening, so I got to get the hand warmers in a little bit. But a big night of high school football, including here at Neville as they host Bastrop. Also down the road at Carroll as they host 3A foe Union Parish. But back over here, the Rams are looking for their first win over the Tigers since 2008. That's the last year they won the state title. Neville prevailed last season, 17-12 over Bastrop. A lot on the line this evening. Both squads are undefeated in district play. Tigers at 2-0, Rams at 4-0. This is a season finale for Cedric Sherrod's crew. I did catch up with Mickey McCarty earlier this week and asked him if the preparation coming into this game is any different.
No difference at all. We've got work to do. We know they're a talented team. That's obvious to see on film. And, we know we've got to be prepared. This is going to be a very good battle this week. And, our kids better be ready to play.
The last game of the year, it's always highly competitive. Both teams play at a high level. It would really mean a lot to the community and also to the program as well.
Don't get a chance to talk a lot about Haynesville, but a huge game over in Claiborne Parish. Interesting one at that, as a matter of fact. They're 5-3 this season, including 5-0 in 1-1A play, along with the Cavaliers. David Franklin's crew. They've won 71 straight district games. Inside Red Franklin Stadium, they've been victorious in 36 consecutive contests. That last loss, by the way, against tonight's opponent back in 2006, Calvary. The Cavs enter tonight 8-0. Coach Franklin explained if that's in the minds of any of his players.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime the kids sense that. They sense from the coaches, I guess the stress that we've been on under all weekend trying to figure out how to play somebody, but they sense that stress. And it's been a stressful week because you know the type of team that you're playing on Friday night.
Football Friday night, 10:15 on KTVE, and Football Friday Night Extra at 11 o'clock on Fox 14. Chelsea and Jared, back to you in the studio.
He got the memo today and bundled up a little bit.
About time.
All right. And you guys who are going out there, make sure you stay warm too, right?
Grab some layers.
Well, speaking of football, it's a battle of college teams in El Dorado this weekend, and the big reason the city looks forward to this game is not on the gridiron. Plus, teen screen time is almost up an hour versus 4 years ago. Why it's up? The two things usually teens are watching, and two dangers from too much screen time.
And across the region, we stayed cool this morning. It was a frosty start in many spots. Those chilly mornings continue, but a rain-free weekend also upon us. A full look at the forecast as NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
Our Prince Jackson exclusive.
Growing up watching Thriller, I was always terrified of, is my dad ever going to turn into a werecat?
His tour of the Jackson family home turned haunted house. Next, ET.
There's only one place on Friday night to get your high school football highlights and action, and that's Football Friday Night.
Tonight at 10:15 on NBC 10. Sponsored by Banner Ford, Randall's Fine Meats, and American Direct Auto in Winsboro.
Thanks to Governor Edwards expanding Medicaid, I didn't have to choose between getting cancer treatment or going bankrupt. Now I'm working full-time again and can afford private insurance. But his opponent's plan would take health care coverage away from hundreds of thousands of working people who need help just like I did. You may not have to vote like your life depends on it, but know that someone's does.
Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation. Lawyers in the Senate killed legislation.
That's right. Lawyers in the Senate committee killed the bill. So Jim Fannin never got the chance to vote for the bill to reduce insurance rates. Jay Morris left out the facts again. He's a lawyer running for Senate, whose business is foreclosing on homes, farms, and businesses. We don't need more lawyers like Jay Morris in the Senate. We need businessman Jim Fannin, fighting to reduce taxes and insurance rates.
The Animal House is your local pet store. Cypress Street, West Monroe.
NBC 10 News at 5 continues.
Here's a reminder for you tonight before you head into your weekend. Don't forget, daylight savings time ends this Sunday. We fall back this weekend technically at 2 a.m. on Sunday. So before you go to bed on Saturday, change your clocks in your house and set them back an hour. Most electronic devices like your phones, your computers, they'll change automatically.
Also keep in mind to change the batteries in your NOAA weather radio as well. Two South Arkansas teams will be battling it out on Saturday at the Murphy USA Classic in El Dorado. It's the 11th year Murphy USA has been a title sponsor for the game. This year, it's the Ouachita Baptist Tigers and the Southern Arkansas University Mule Riders. And they'll be the two teams stepping out on the field. Matchup will bring in students, alumni, and fans from all across the state. City leaders are hoping visitors take a moment to see what El Dorado has to offer.
I'm just excited about the game being here in El Dorado. We have a new press box, so that's exciting for the people who have not seen it. But we want people to maybe come a little early, take some sights in of El Dorado, go downtown, do some shopping, do some eating, and after the game, hey, hang around for a while and enjoy a little bit more of El Dorado.
NBC 10's Gabrielle Pfeiffer spoke with the game coordinators and hear the benefit they say local students can get from this event coming up tonight at 6. Always fun to see some of our local college teams taking a little trip to El Dorado this weekend.
Yeah, cute and quaint, pretty little town.
Absolutely. Stick around and have some food, too. It's good eats up in El Dorado. All right, across the region, whether you're going to a college game, a high school game, or just bebopping around town this weekend, looks like the weather's going to cooperate. Full look at the forecast coming up next.
And coming up in Health Watch, kids are spending more time on their phones, tablets, and computers. Why researchers say it's not all a bad thing.
Communa Health Services. New name, same quality care.
My car wreck was horrible. I had pain to my neck and to my back. The one call that I made was to Morris Bart. He got me $225,000.
If you get hurt in a car wreck in Monroe, do what your family and friends have done for many years.
At Cracker Barrel, we're cooking up warm feelings of home this season with country fried turkey, hand-breaded, fried till crispy, and topped with holiday herbed gravy. Our take on a festive favorite is back, and it's only at Cracker Barrel. So come on home for the holidays. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
5 steps for perfect winter skin.
5 steps. My skin gets so dry and itchy, I need serious relief. That's why I use O'Keefe's Skin Repair.
It's 48-hour moisture in one use and guaranteed relief for dry, itchy skin.
Thanks to O'Keefe's, I got my skin back.
When John Bell Edwards let thousands of criminals out of jail early, he put every life in danger. 25% have already committed more crimes. Crimes against children, violent assaults, 5 murders.
Jordan's killer was released after only serving 18 months, or 21% of his sentence.
I'll never forget the sound of that zipper opening up for us to be able to see Jordan inside.
Give his victims a voice. Vote no on John Bell Edwards. Paid and authorized by Make Louisiana Great Again.
This is Robert. A distracted driver hit him while changing lanes and he ended up in the hospital. Robert didn't hesitate. He called Morris Bart.
Robert hurt his ankle and needed surgery. He called me and we got him $141,000. One call, that's all.
On average, 35 children die each year from being left in unattended vehicles. Stop. Look before you lock and help save precious lives like this one.
Brought to you locally by Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. Get it done.
To Animal House is your local pet store, Cypress Street, West Monroe.
Tonight, potential evidence in a murder case recorded by Alexa. Exactly what do our devices hear and even record? Also, actress Lori Loughlin and her husband doubling down, pleading not guilty to new charges in the college admissions scandal. When we see you tonight.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, your local weather with Chief Meteorologist Jaron Floyd.
Back with this week's KidsCast winner, it is Mr. Lane with a wonderfully stormy picture here. Mr. Lane, how old are you, sir?
8.
8 years old. You go to what school?
Riverfield Academy.
And you are in what grade?
3rd.
3rd grade. That's a big grade. Tell us what you got going on in this picture, man.
I drew a lightning bolt because last Saturday I drew it.
Mm-hmm. And it was storming then?
It was storming.
Mm-hmm. What else you got going on? Just obviously the rain. If it's storming, if you got lightning, you're probably gonna have some rain, you know.
It was raining a lot.
Yeah, and we needed that rain too. Now we need some dry days. So we got the rain. Now we're ready to get it on out of here. You have any friends you want to say hello to?
I want to say hey to my class at school.
Cool. What's your teacher's name?
Miss Pam Warner.
Okay. All right. Hello to Miss Warner's class. Hope y'all enjoy Lane's cameo on the news. You have anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
All right, man. Did a great job with this picture. Here's Lane's picture again if you haven't seen it at home. Fill your KidsCast form out and send it in, and you could be our KidsCast winner next week. Very well done. Getting rid of the rainfall across the area. He said it was storming in that picture, or he said it was storming the day that he drew the picture, which was a week from last Saturday, and it was a stormy day, so well done. All right, take a look at the new live storm tracker Doppler radar brought to you by E. Orem Young. Skies remain clear, and they will stay that way as we head through the weekend. Aside from a few high clouds, that's about it. And high pressure basically sitting right over the top of us has continued to keep sky conditions very quiet, and also with that, a dry atmosphere. And that dry atmosphere has actually done us some favors today. We started off in the morning lows near the freezing mark, and then we climbed back into the upper 50s this afternoon. The lack of water in the atmosphere makes that difference. And that will continue through the day tomorrow, even with a weak cold front passing through tonight. You'll see that in just a minute. Regional picture, it just doesn't have anything to show. No rainfall, as we mentioned, a lot of these cold fronts, especially this time of year, fall and spring, when those big, strong storm systems move through, they kind of act as a windshield wiper or a squeegee, and they will wipe the slate clean of all the moisture. So a lot of dry air in place. Had to take the high pressure center off the temperature map here in a minute because it was covering up half of our area. It sits right over the top of us at this point. Weak cold front, again, passing through the area late tonight. So future tracker shows all of that, and it's a very active pattern. High pressure moves east, cold front moves through during the morning hours tomorrow. Winds back out of the north through the day. Doesn't make a big difference in terms of temperatures. And then another high pressure center moves in swiftly behind that. That high pressure center, again, never really stops, continues to move off to the east, winds back out of the south and southeast as we go through the daytime hours on Sunday. As the winds return to the east and the southeast, the warming trend is on. So while temperatures kind of level out over the next couple of days, we get into Sunday and Monday, and that's when the winds back out of the south. Could see a touch more in the way of cloud cover, but the rain chances really don't translate just yet. That comes later in the week. And again, it'll take a little bit of a process to kind of stack that moisture up in all levels of the atmosphere as we get to that time frame. Low to mid 50s across northern Mississippi, and then as you move into our area, it's mid 50s as well. And really, you go all the way from the southeast into central Texas, and we're only talking about a 5 or 6 degree difference in current temperatures. That's how consistent the air mass is in our locations. So again, looking for a pretty quiet and uniform night across the area. 56 in Ruston, 57 in Monroe and Monticello, same in El Dorado, 55 in Vicksburg. We'll look for lows tonight to eventually fall back off into the mid-30s under patchy frost. Again, if you're out there, maybe a light freeze across southern Arkansas during the daybreak hours tomorrow. So if you're a gardener, same kind of precautions you took yesterday. Across North Louisiana, may want to take those precautions anyway for frost formation, but I think we'll stay above the freezing mark. Upper 50s to near 60 degrees for a high tomorrow, still continuing with the sunshine, and winds will stay breezy out of the north. Look at the rest of the forecast as we head through the next 7 days. High temperatures will continue to stay in most spots in the low to mid 60s as the warming trend commences on Sunday. Winds will return to the east and the southeast as we head through the first and middle of next week. And we'll look for highs in the low 70s on Wednesday. That's ahead of the cold front that'll bring rain back in on Thursday. Scattered showers in most spots with highs in the low to mid 60s at that point. So the cold front does knock temperatures down a few degrees. Not enough to make a huge difference. Overall, very fall-like.
And I'm okay with that. I've been looking forward to this time.
And I think the most important takeaway is after, like we said yesterday, very soggy October, get a chance to dry out, too.
I'm here for all of that.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Well, more more and more time spent on small screens like phones and computers, researchers say that teens are watching more than ever. The two things they watch the most and the added time that may not be all bad after we come back.
Tonight, potential evidence in a murder case recorded by Alexa. Exactly what do our devices hear and even record? Also, actress Lori Loughlin and her husband doubling down, pleading not guilty to new charges in the college admissions scandal. When we see you tonight.
Sports, sponsored by Ken's Coffee Service.
Guys, this is Steven.
Pretty sporty car there, Steven.
It's my dad's new Camry. It's got a V6 engine, cool safety features, panoramic moonroof, a super roomy back seat.
You're right about the back seat, Steven. Roomy.
Get carried away by the sporty new Toyota Camry. Right now, get $2,500 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2019 Camry. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
Eddie Rispone takes aim at fellow Republican Ralph Abraham.
An ad released by Eddie Rispone is filled with, quote, baseless personal attacks.
You know those ads you're running against me and my family are lies. When you stand up here and tell blatant lies to the good people of Louisiana, you're the politician, not me.
We just can't trust phony Eddie Rispone.
It's just not right, you know it.
This is Jeff Foote. Homes Plus is now Clayton Homes of West Monroe. Innovative engineering and attention to every detail makes Clayton a top pick. Considering a new home? Consider Clayton's quality and value. Top notch from design to delivery. Opening doors to a better life, one home at a time. Come experience a whole new level in home buying at the new Clayton Homes of West Monroe.
I know people love the dish remote. It's great. So why build in the Google Assistant? I mean, who really needs a TV remote that can turn the thermostat up,
Change temperature to 72,
the lights down,
dim the lights,
and still access their DVR?
play real.
Actually, some people could absolutely use a remote like that. The new Dish Voice Remote. Dish, tuned in to you.
Tonight's Health Watch studies say teens are spending more and more time on devices, not including the time they spend on their screens at school.
It's a lot of screen looking. So what is causing the uptick in that teen screen time? Mandy Gaither has the details.
More than 7 hours a day. That, on average, is how much time a U.S. teen spends watching a screen for entertainment, according to a new study by the nonprofit organization Common Sense Media. Researchers say screen time has inched up by 42 minutes a day since 2015. Data from a nationwide survey of more than 1,600 youth between the ages of 8 to 18 was analyzed. The study says tweens spend nearly 5 hours looking at screens. Most of the time in both age groups is spent looking at TV or videos. The research shows for tweens, YouTube dominates the online video space. Youth also spend a majority of time using devices to play games. Risks include the potential for youth to be exposed to harmful messages online and for them to become socially isolated, spending time on devices instead of with peers. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
We'll have a final look at the 7-day forecast. It's coming up right after the break.
Stay tuned.
News, sponsored by Marie's Medical. 11 teens die every day as a result of texting while driving. Don't be a statistic. Sign the pledge at notextarclimits.com. Brought to you by Creed & Creed, your local injury attorneys.
The world believed these kids died of natural causes, but Reddington says they were murdered.
Why would an assassin target kids? We have to stop him. You're going to feel a little pinch.
Dateline tonight. A killer took his new love and then his twin brother.
The story kept growing.
Who wanted them dead? The dangerous mind behind the mystery. Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.
The attacks against Governor Edwards are not only false,
they're hypocritical.
He's never supported releasing dangerous criminals.
And we all know it.
criminal justice reform is making Louisiana safer.
It's strongly supported by Republicans and Democrats.
Law enforcement professionals
and business leaders.
Growing up in a fourth-generation law enforcement family.
And a veteran.
Governor Edwards knows what it means to serve and protect.
The Louisiana Sheriff's Association is proud to endorse Governor Edwards.
The car wreck I was in was very bad. I broke my hip. Morris Park got me $290,000.
If you get hurt in a car wreck in Monroe, do what your family and friends have done for many years. Call me now.
My record on keeping taxes lower for businesses is out there for anyone to see. But you can't rely on a foreclosure lawyer running for a Senate seat to be the source for the truth. I think you'll agree, we don't need any more pro-tax lawyers in the Senate.
Experience the thrill of college football at the Murphy USA Classic in El Dorado. It's a day of fun as the Ouachita Tigers take on the Mule Riders of SAU. Come early for some great tailgating and entertainment. College football returns to El Dorado, Arkansas. Saturday, November 2nd, kickoff at 2 p.m. Tickets available at select Murphy USA stations. The Murphy USA Classic, November 2nd in El Dorado.
Communa Health Services. New name, same quality care.
Hey kids, how would you like to forecast the weather with me? Just pick up your Kids Cast coloring sheet at any Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union or print it on myarclemis.com. Then color the weather and mail it in. Each Friday on NBC 10 News at 5, someone who sent in their artwork will appear in our Kids Cast weather segment. It could easily be you.
Kids Cast, sponsored by Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union. For more details, visit myarclemis.com.
7-day forecast shows afternoon highs in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Plenty of sunshine for Saturday. High clouds back in Sunday, Monday. Morning lows will be in the low to mid 60s. And those morning lows continuing climb as we head through the first and middle of next week. Low 70s by Wednesday. Scattered showers on Thursday, but that's ahead of a kind of a weird oriented cold front that'll move into our area. And of course, it's so far out in the next 6 to 7 days, a lot can change between now and then. Regardless, dry, giving us a chance to kind of soak all this rainwater in over the next several days.
Yeah, it's not that cold.
Yep, grab a jacket. If you're heading out to a high school game tonight, just grab an extra layer. You should be fine.
All right, well, that's going to be it for us. Thanks for watching NBC 10 News at 5. NBC covers America and your world nightly news next. More on this news on our sister station, Fox 14, and your local news leader is back at 6.